Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I'm going to do a little update on my big overarching goal for this year, which is to finish the books that were on my physical TBR at the beginning of the year. I meant to do this in the middle of the year, but then like mid-year check-in stuff kind of overwhelmed me. I was checking about other things, so this is sort of like see what I'm doing to get this goal accomplished hopefully by the end of the year, and sort of like priority books for the end of the year, things like that. So at the beginning of the year, I had 41 books that were brand new on my shelf as of 1/1. But in order to get all of those read, I had some rereads to do to catch up with series because I had like third books or second books or whatever in series on my TBR shelf, but I wanted to reread the books in the series. So with those rereads, I had 8 rereads to potentially do. I had 49 books total to read through to get through everything on my TBR. As of today, which I'm filming this like a little before the end of August, the 26th of August, I have 16 books that I have read for my TBR and 3 that I've DNF'd. And then of those rereads, I have reread 2 of the 8. So only 4 months left of the year and like not quite half. So I wanted to make some like evaluations for this. This is still my stretch goal. My stretch goal is still to finish all of the books on my physical TBR with some caveats. So I decided to take 2 series off that physical TBR and therefore take those rereads off as well. So first of those being The Lies of Locke Lamora. I'm holding up the 2 that I've already read but I would have had to reread. So I have The Republic of Thieves on my TBR and it has been there for a minute because the 4th book in the series has been pending forever. So I've had the 3rd book for a minute and I keep saying like, oh well, this year, I'm sure, Thorn of Emberlane will get officially announced with it, like a date, and it's never gonna happen. It will eventually. I have faith that it will. But then I'll really be motivated to read these, and that hasn't happened, so these just fall farther in my, like, I want to reread them closer to be, like, re-immersed. So I'm gonna aim for, regardless of Thorn of Emberlane bullshit, I'm rereading The Lies of Locke Lamora in 2025. So that takes 3 books off of the TBR, 1 off of the like haven't read, and 2 off of the rereads. I'm also going to take the 12 Kings series. It's actually not called that. Blood Upon the Sand? No, Blood Upon the Sand is this one. What's the name of this? I'm forgetting right now in my head. But the first book is the 12 Kings in Shirakai by Bradley Baleo. And I have read the first 2 books again in this series, and I have the 3rd book, I think just the 3rd book, maybe the 4th. I think it's just the 3rd on my shelf. So same thing. I'm taking 3 total off of the list. Those are both series that I'm really enjoying and I will get back to again in 2025. So I'm taking those off specifically because I just want the time to read them next year and I'm trying to prioritize a few series that I can like finish this year. And so I am like pushing these down the list. Also, there are some other books that have been on my TBR since like 2021 or before, and I'm really extra prioritizing those. So with those books being taken off, if we reset the beginning of the year numbers, it's like 39 books total on the physical TBR, 43 with rereads. Now keeping in mind that the actual numbers now, I have 20 books of those 39 left on the TBR, and only 2 of the like need to read before continuing left on the like reread TBR, like 22 total. That is slightly more attainable, right? So 22 books in 4 months means about on average 5.5 books a month from the physical TBR. And again, that generally like hasn't been happening, which is why I'm behind. So I have gone in and kind of figured out a little roughly what my TBRs for each month are going to be a little bit. I'm not going to go through those or anything, but I've kind of said like, okay, if you need to read like on average 5 books a month to get to this end goal, which books are you going to read in which months? Just to kind of like have that top of mind. Like some books fall really well into the like October spooky season, so I put those there. Some of them are like, okay, this will be really good like right before the end of the year. You know, like some have felt like summery, so I'm kind of reading those this month and September. So I'm kind of doing that in my head. I won't necessarily stick to that religiously, but it's sort of helping me. So within that, here is a game plan. I have some books on my physical TBR, I have physical copies of them, that I'm planning to read on audiobook as long as I enjoy the audiobooks. Those are The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones, Medusa's Sisters by Lauren J.A. Baer. I tend to like retellings on audio, so I'm pretty sure this will go over well. Nemesis Games by James S.A. Corey, and The Emperor of All Maladies by, oh god, I haven't read this title in forever, Dartha Mukajiri. Man, I have not talked about this book in like years. This has been on my TBR shelf since like 2018. So that's a nonfiction, and I've tended to enjoy nonfiction on audio, and then with the Expanse series, I've been rereading those on audio and just continuing in audio with these. Even though I'll probably still keep buying physical copies, because I've read some of them on physical copy. I don't know. Anyway. And then I also want to listen to The Reluctant Queen by, I think that's Sarah Beth Durst, on audio as well. That's a book I haven't read, but I need it to read the final book on my TBR shelf in that series. So 5 books on audio. And I'll plan on roughly reading one of those a month. I mean, obviously 1 month will be 2, but like that's kind of the plan. And then the extra priority reads include some of those, but these are the books that like, no matter what, if I don't get the rest of the books off my TBR, I'm getting these off of my TBR because they've been on my TBR for so long. Malice by John Gwynne. This is a retry because I had gotten, I've probably talked about this a ton of times before, you guys. I've gotten like 186 pages into this back in like 2020 and it just wasn't hitting, or maybe it was like 2021. I don't remember. It was a while ago and it just wasn't resonating. I couldn't tell you a single thing about this. It like did not stick in my brain. But people sing John Gwynne's praises. I think this will be really good for me. I just need to like try it again at a different time. So I want to get to this or DNF it. Again, all of these books I'm either reading or DNFing before the end of the year. That's the goal. Another one similar to that, same thing happened. I think it happened like right after I tried to read that one, was The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. This one I got 141 pages into, and again, couldn't keep reading it, don't remember anything about it. And I have so many friends that, again, love this series, so I think I'll love it. Just need to push through it again. Then Seven Surrenders, which is the second book in the like Two Like the Lightning series. This might have a different name, but Two Like the Lightning is always behind me right here, and I love it. So I'm going to reread that and read this to get this off my shelf again and to continue with the series because I do really enjoy it. And then, as previously mentioned, I'm going to read The Reluctant Queen so I can get onto Queen of Sorrows, which is the final book in the series. I got this book sent to me by a publisher years ago before I read the first 2. And now it's taken me so long to get to this. But I've stuck it out. So, the first book I really enjoyed. So, getting to this. And then previously mentioned The Emperor of All Maladies. It's been on my shelf since like 2018. So those 10 for like the priority TBR and some overlap with the audiobooks is what like I will for sure get to, which then will take all of this down to only having like 10 left on the physical TBR. But I think I can get through those too. So we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes I get distracted and end up reading other things, and there are other things that I have on my TBR shelf physically from this year, and I don't just want to push those out. Like, whatever I'm feeling, I will read, but these are the priority. And I think I can do it. Like, based on how I sorted everything out by month, like, those all seem like things that I still want to read, that I want to read in those months, all of that. So, yeah. Comment below, let me know if you have any end of the year kind of goals like this, or if you're trying to physically finish, like, a TBR within a year. Like, if I do this, and then I just have the like Bradley Baleo series and Scott Lynch series that are sort of like pending from before, that'll be perfect for 2025. Like, I will feel so good. So yeah, excited about that. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.